So, hey guys, Chauzu here, and it's time for some accessible teams against Treasure Map Chopper. And by accessible teams, I mean that I'm avoiding the very most latest patches, but I'm not afraid to use supports, legends, some other pretty recent units, but not the most recent. But yeah, let's jump into it. I will say that this treasure map was the easiest to build for in a long time. Especially the main bosses, you will see that they are very much manageable. And I use only very accessible stuff here and they are pretty easy. So anything you pulled just makes it even better. First, Gordon, and as you see here, I took the lazy route and just did the Big Mom team. This boss actually has pretty annoying debuffs when you look at it. But it does have the reduced special charge by 5 for the whole team, and recommended characters aren't the strongest either. So I'm just assuming that it will be pretty easy, so hopefully it works for some time. But yeah, I said a lot of stuff. Ship bind, harder taps, you get a lot of different bad orbs. 6-turn bind to top row, 10 turns decrease chain, death down immunity. So yeah, I just wave clear with Luffy and Zoro. Final stage, use Big Mom. If I need more damage, I can then heal with Koala. Use Big Mom again. Kill. That's the plan. Use state base stat boosts on the team to get more HP. And yeah, I'll make another team later when I do my own teams. Moving on, we have Usopp and Yasopp. And yeah, let's take a look at it. You can run Dex Quick In teams for this, and as you see, the recommended characters are a bit weird, but let's see why. You get 2 turns of Special Reverse, 10 turns Ship Bind, 5 turns Paralysis, 1 turns Damage Nullification, and Delay Immunity. So turn 1, I wave clear with the Raizo. Turn 2, I wave clear with one of the Super Type specials. Final stage, I use another Super Type special. This lets me use Neko Special, so I can use Neko Special. Then I can use Shiki Special. But thinking about it, I think this makes more sense. I realized that I overlooked that Dog is better for this. Let's see. There's the dog. Dog is better, works the same as the cat. It's just that he will give an attack boost. I was thinking about using cat stage 2, but then I realized that's just waste of time. Just use dog, get an attack boost, reduce CD. You can use Shiki, remove the para, get an ore boost. Tesoro, change top and bottom row to matching, and get a chain lock. Should probably use Hannibal and Magellan before that for color affinity. And if you don't have matching orb for Tesoro, you can just use one of the many matching orb supports like Cavendish, for example. That Rebecca should also work. So yeah, there are some options here. And of course with dog, we can just ignore the damage nullification. Moving on, we have the Beckman and Lakaru team. This is the weirdest team I made. I will most likely use the Shanks myself. This is made for the new Shanks legend. But Bullet is pretty good for this too. And like the more buff Bullet you have, the better, basically. But yeah, the reason Bullet is good is because final stage, the boss will randomly change to one of 4 different colors. So of course, Bullet will hit this super effectively. You get block orbs, 5 turns damage reduction, 8 turns the spear to top row, 5 turns you need high enough chain, 5 turns resilience. I remember that I made some late changes here. The Big Mom might ruin it since she's powerhouse. I don't feel like making changes to this team now. Just be aware that the Big Mom will lower the attack of the ship quite a bit. And the ship is here just for the end of turn damage to get through resilience. The reason for that is that final stage we'll be using Ray League. And Ray League will ignore the damage reduction and give attack and ore boost. Bullet support gives color affinity. Just wave clear with Caesar stage 1. Caesar is also replaceable now since I put Kiko and ISO later. Stage 2 use Kiko and ISO. Final stage, the support removed the spear. And we have full board of matching similar orbs thanks to Big Mom, so just ignore the block orbs. It's a shame but that I overlooked the Big Mom is Powerhouse. Like the team should still work if you're just going for 10 million. So that's that at least. But yeah, I'll make a note in later using Shanks instead. Shanks boss. This boss is like perfect for Carrot and Wanda, but designed for Beckman and Lucky Roux. So yeah, top row, 4-turn special reverse, and then it's all the defensive debuffs, basically, a lot of them. So yeah, basically the idea here is that I wave clear with Zoro twice. Final stage, use Carrot and Wanda special to get ore boost. And their captain ability will reduce the CD naturally. So we just ignore the special reverse basically. They've also set defense to 0. And one of them will ignore defensive effects. Basically the plan here is to 1-hit KO with 1 carrot. I think it should work pretty well. Law gives an attack boost. Hyogoro gives color affinity. The Shinobu chain boost. If you don't have the Shinobu, just use another chain booster or chain locker. And yeah, start a chain, kill with Carrot Wanda. Should work decently well. I wouldn't use this if you're going for more than 10 million though, but should work fine until 10 million. Then for the bosses, and definitely 5+ Uta ASAP, since she gets a better captain ability and better specials. But yeah, this is pretty accessible, I'd say. Let's see if I remember how the team works. And of course we're using the new Luffy as Frank Captain, both for this team and the Ambush team. So basically, stage 2 we get top left bind, top right the spear. We just use Uta twice, and we can use Luffy as well just to get an attack boost. Should be fine. Might need to use more for color matching orbs and such, but I think it should be able to power through pretty decently. Like, you can at least guarantee a matching orb on Uta with like Cavendish or something. We also want to use Sabo here, mainly just to get a chain boost for stage 3. But if you need more damage stage 2, you can just use Sabo stage 1 as well. Sabo in general is pretty replaceable, so if you feel like stage 2 is a problem, replace Sabo with something that helps you stage 2, basically. Quest guide again. Final stage, 3 turns special reverse, 10 turns top row special bind, 1 turn limited taps, death down immunity, and damage threshold. Basically, when we get to final stage, we'll use Luffy's super type special to reduce CD of the crew. Then we use the Frankie, who will reduce CD further. I realize now that he doesn't reduce for Sanji, but not a big issue since we have the Sora support anyway. That works instead, and there's probably more support that works for Sanji. So Frankie gives chain lock, lets us use Brook. Remember that after every Straw Hat special, just use Luffy's special for more damage. We can use Brook twice to get a delay conditional and remove the damage threshold. And finally we can use the Sanji. He's not the most important, but it does give some extra stats. Like, well, I guess Sanji isn't that important, he's just here to boost points a bit. But it means you could use him earlier. He's just a filler. Yeah, it shows how easy this boss is when you can use a filler like the Sanji. But yeah, pretty straightforward, and you should always use the shark ship basically when you have a strength X quick captain in Treasure Map. Finally, same thing here, shark ship. Ambush is a bit more annoying. Quest guide. Luffy friend captain again. Slots to empty, 4 turns paralysis, 3 turn slot barrier. One thing I remembered I want to check was Luffy, but I remember he doesn't do any utilities, pretty annoying. But yeah, the plan here is for Shiki to come true. We're going to use Shiki, and he will give football recovery orbs, give an orb boost, and also need to remember to check the debuffs again. Yeah, the main thing is the orbs, and he removes the paralysis. Shiki is very good. The thing is that Shiki won't be ready, so you have to use the Luffy super type special before that, and that will make Shiki ready thanks to him being boosted. And Shiki has Cavendish support, and this does guarantee a quick orb. There are other options if you don't have Cavendish. I recommend checking the OPTC DB for potential options. But yeah, that lets you break through the barrier. And there might be a problem in not having more units with matching orbs. But you can at least use the Luffy special, so you got both attack boost and orb boost, and at least Shiki has a matching orb. There might be more. I haven't thought too hard about these, to be honest. I've had to play so much PvP today, trying to rank top 100. Anyway, final stage. We will get a full heal, so we can ignore that. Shiki setting us to 1 HP. Final stage, 5 turn attack down, 9 turns the spear, 5 turns death up. And it says that when we do an attack boost or boost color affinity, we remove beneficial effects. I will say that the presumption here is that this will only happen once. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. You can't use the Luffy, who is the top booster for this treasure map. So we're assuming this will only happen one time. Otherwise, the team won't work, really. So, yeah, just a caveat there. So you're aware that this is just an assumption that this team will work. And there's 50k death damage. So optimally, we try and find some damage reduction as well. One easy option is to change the ship. We should have pretty high HP, to be honest. But there might be some support we can use as well to lower damage. But yeah, anyway. First, all the debuffs. Like the attack down and the spear. Uta will remove most of the spear, most of the attack down. Sanji will remove the remaining attack down and guarantee matching orbs for the Sai units. Brook has double special, so you can make use of that to use Luffy's special several times. He will also remove the spear. So remember that when you remove the spear, Brook won't fully charge Luffy. But then you have Brook, Sanji, Jinbei to charge up Luffy again, so you can use Luffy 3 times easily. And we have Jinbei for color affinity. So I think it should work well, but it does need some testing. And there will be more options if you have 5+ Uta, since you can run, say, Nami support on Sanji, the Legend Nami, to set defense to 0. Then you can remove always 4 turns of the spear with Uta, so you have a bit more leeway. Let me see, quest guide again. How much the spear was it? 9 turns, yes, it's 6 turns. So Uta plus Nami does remove everything, but with 5+ Uta, and if you have Death Down already applied, you can use 1 Uta, Brook, all the spears removed. Then you can use Uta later for the Death Down conditional, because with the current team, you won't really get the Death Down conditional, since when you use the Luffy special, the boss will be wiped. But as you see, this team looks very bad, but it should work decently. The main issue is like survivability, I'd say, and if stage 2 works out. But yeah, that's at least some ideas for you to play around with. I'll be back before the treasure map starts with my own teams. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.